Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. I've got a few things that I've gotten done, and we're going to be doing some stuff tonight. We're working on the intercoolers finally. First of all, we're going to get started with Mikie's intercooler. He's on more of a deadline than I am, and I'm going to be going to California, not this week, but the following week. So the first week of April, I'm going to be going to FD round 1 for work. I will probably do some stuff at night, and I'll take you guys along the ride for that. You can check out all the content for during the day and a visit with the Hoonigans and all of the FD coverage that we do on the Haltech YouTube channel. I will link that below. And Husa Garage. So that's going to be pretty fun. But let's get to what we're doing tonight now. So I've been talking to you guys about all the different things we're doing and take you guys along for the ride with me. And so we have my intercooler core, Mikie's intercooler. So Mikie Sorrell with the Starion, 1JZ, single turbo, on a Haltech, etc. We're building him an intercooler with a C&R Racing core. It's really nice stuff. And so the first thing we're going to want to do is grab some cardboard, scissors, tape, and then it's arts and crafts time. So what we've done is mock up the intercoolers in tanks out of cardboard, tape it all together so that you can get kind of an idea of what shapes you need to cut out of the aluminum. It's a lot easier to work with. You just cut it with some scissors, boom, and it's done. Basically what you end up with is this. So these are from my car. This is the outlet. You can see I cut it all up. I did talk to a guy that I really trust his designs. I know him as Derek the Welder or Dime Stack Derek on Instagram. He is all in Fabrication. Does absolutely beautiful work, and when he calls himself Dime Stack, it's legit. This dude can weld just about anything. It's badass. But I talked to him. I wanted to consult him. He's built a lot of Honda big horsepower backdoor intercoolers and stuff with the core that I'm using from Vibrant. Basically, this is going to be the inlet. So the inlet will be right here. That will get a Vibrant HD vanging clamp. And then this will be the outlet. And that will also get a 3-inch Vibrant HD vanging clamp. The one thing I can't decide on is, do I put the blow-off valve here or do I put the blow-off valve here? I did originally want to recircuit back into the front of the turbo, but I don't know. I'm kind of running out of room everywhere, so we'll see. So this is what you start off with. This is your template of what to draw out on your material. You can see here I had some 4.5-inch aluminum sheared. It's a 90 thousandths 5052. It's really pretty easy to work with. It welds good and still strong. So you can see that's the width of this. That makes one less thing that I've got to use the bandsaw or the shear and whatever to do. It'll be single cuts. So basically what you would do is cut all your little tape tabs, lay the piece flat, cut it, mark your bends, and bend it. So this is Mikie's stuff. And the inlet's going to have a little diverter tab so that it uses the entire core. The outlet will just be a standard outlet. You trace all that out on the aluminum. This is a scribe. So this gives you a much sharper line because a Sharpie kind of leaves a little room for interpretation of the line. So that gives you a very sharp line. You know exactly where to cut. Boom, you can cut it. Jumping ahead, I did cut these parts already and then use the brake to bend them. You can see, and I do have radius dies. However, it was a lot easier to duplicate by just marking out a bunch of different small bends and making a nice smooth radius. You can see it's very smooth. That's an inlet. That's an outlet. And I wanted to take you guys up and show you guys how we actually lay stuff out, shear it, and get a rough cut of your parts. You can see this is very jagged on the end. It will need to be sanded here so that it will fit this better. Now, if I just wanted to send it with the welder, I could easily do that, but I want it to fit a lot nicer. So we just do a nice rough cut, get a lot of the material cut down, and that way it will fit in here nicely. We'll weld it up, tack the inside as well so that you don't have any cracks since it is on the edge. You know, you don't want the pressure to be pushing and it to crack your weld. So what you'll do is you'll tack the inside corner as well. You see there are no holes cut in this yet, so you guys will get to see that. And then we're going to weld it up. Oh, the diverter. So this diverter basically sits inside like this, so that on the, well, I guess it's the other way. So it'll sit a lot like this. So that when the air comes in, it is forced to use the top half of the core, because if you just blast air in, path of least resistance is straight across, and you got like sometimes 2/3 of the intercooler that's not being used. We're not doing that. These are proven to work. Got to use that nice big core to its full potential. So I'm going to go upstairs now, and we are going to cut 2 more of these because I was a dum-dum and totally spaced. Did not cut 4 like I needed. I cut 2 because I had 2 templates. I don't know why I cut 2 of those, but whatever. We're going to go upstairs, cut some metal, and come back down here and I guess put it all together. All right, guys. Made it up into Dad's shop. Going to be using a couple tools up here. Really, we've already gone through doing all of the bending, so that will be what's called a brake. I'll show you what it is just so you guys know. But what you're going to actually watch me use is the shear. So what that does is it's like a giant guillotine. You jump on the thing and it makes your nice straight cut, and you got a nice straight piece to work off of. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about now. So this is a stomp shear, and it whole, you know, you're stomping on it and it's cutting your metal. Basically it grips the metal here and then shears it down here. It's got a nice straight blade. It's got a fence here if you want to do more than one thing. Now over here is the brake. Basically this is completely adjustable. We do have radiused bend dies here, like I was talking about. But instead, we're using the hard brake. So you clamp your metal in, pull it up, it folds your metal. Pretty simple. We always leave a little angle finder on there so we can get an idea of what we're pulling, what angle we're actually pulling. So that is that. Let's go use that dude and cut some metal. All right, guys. First thing we got to do, put our material up here, figure out what we need to cut. Obviously these are the 2 pieces. They are 2 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is get myself a nice 2-inch scribe line across. But I'm also going to draw these guys out first because it's a lot easier to draw on a nice big sheet of aluminum than it is a 2-inch wide one. Brought my scribe, this guy here, and my square to make sure that I cut this thing straight. Kind of important. What's great about a square is it's got it all marked off. Set this guy to 2 inches, and you can just drag on across with your scribe, get a nice straight line as long as the end of your material is straight. First of all, always try to use your factory cut corners in case somebody, if you know this thing's been sheared on a shear that is straight. Try to use the square corner, because this is perfectly square as long as everything's set up right. I want these to be all 90-degree cuts, so I want to lay this thing down on the straight. Then I don't have to worry about if it's straight or not when I cut it. As long as I get the material cut straight on the shear, then you know that your piece is straight. Alright, those are marked. Kind of hard to see. Kind of have to look at it at just the right angle to kind of see. Let's see. There we go. You can see there's our scribe line. It's very faint, so you really have to look. Like I said, this is just a scribe. All it does is scratch the material, but it's a nice hard line. It's very obvious. Got our two pieces mapped out. I'm going to double check that it's 2 inches across. With this guy, make a nice hard line across, and we're going to cut it up. Now I'm hoping you guys are going to be able to see this, but basically down in there is what you line up, because this is the edge of the shear here. Well, I'm going to get this thing lined up. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, grab all this stuff, take it back down to my shop, get everything final fit, tack everything together after we cut the holes, and then we can put them on the intercooler, on the core. We can put them on the core. Then we have to find some round stock or cut the old mount bungs off the top of his old intercooler, so that he'll have a way to mount this new intercooler the way that it was mounted. We're basically doing an exact replica to very close, very, very close to an exact replica of his eBay Super China core, so that he can do some back-to-back testing. That way we can get some data, see what kind of, maybe he'll pick up some horsepower, or maybe it just won't heat soak like it used to. Because when he'd do back-to-back runs on the dyno, his inlet air temperatures used to climb and climb and climb and climb. So that's what we're combating here, is trying to get inlet air temperatures lower. Whole point of an intercooler. Well, let's get back downstairs. All right, guys, I am switching over to the GoPros. Sorry about the heater; it was a little bit cool. I got everything ready to get tacked up. All our pieces here. Everything's going to be nice and welded around here. We'll tack the inside So we're going to tack the inside, like I said, as well. I'm going to build out, so I'm going to build our boxes first, then cut the holes, and then I'll weld in the diverter panel for the inlet side. After that, we'll cut our pieces of tubing for our inlet and outlet, and then it's on to getting the core on there, or getting, I guess, these onto the core. I'm going to set this thing up. You guys can watch me weld a little bit. So, cut to that. Alright guys, well, got the end tanks all welded up. My welder's cooling down, that's what you guys are hearing. This one's cool. You can see the inside has the diverter plate. It is welded up. You can see the end. Like I said, it's not really half, maybe a third, that it's going to be diverted up and into the top of the core. I just welded this guy. It's still pretty hot. It's still very hot. Let's be smart about this. So on this kind of deal, I weld the inside as well to create a nice smooth transition out. That's much better. And the outside still gets welded. It probably wouldn't really need to be welded. You could probably tack it in a few places on the outside and it would be fine because it is sealed from the inside. But I like to do both just so it has a lot of strength. The inside is mainly for just having a better way to get the air out of the intercooler, a little bit smoother path. I'm going to grab the intercooler. You guys can see I am kind of out of time. Alright guys, so this is the end tanks just kind of laying on this intercooler core. See, it says C&R. There is going to be some trimming to be done on the tops. You can see there's a little bit of a gap here. So we'll trim this end off. Same with this guy. I left them long. You see their universal cores have a little bit of a tab left, so you can kind of cut that down if you want. We will be cutting that down so that the tank fits nice and tight on there. You can see here what it's going to look like on the end. So that's the inlet, that's the outlet, and yeah, pretty productive. I do need to still make or find some weld bungs for the tops of this guy. That way he can still mount it. But this basically overall size from side to side is exactly the same as that intercooler. And he needed it to be that way because his frame rails basically are here and there. And it's very, very tight in there. But this intercooler should be a lot better. It's going to be a nice design. I'm excited. I wish that I had more time tonight to get this thing welded up. It will get welded in time for him to hit the dyno to do the testing between the generic L China and this really nice C&R Racing core. So, all right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed going through what it takes to make a universal intercooler into a complete intercooler. The next video will have the intercooler get finished. Part 2 of this will have this intercooler being finished. There's a little bit of fitting left to do, and then we're going to need to add some mounting tabs for this guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The next thing you guys are going to be seeing should be pretty fun. Calvin's coming back. He's bringing the 300ZX, but this time he's coming to my shop. We are going to do a few things. He's on his way to IA, which I am bummed I'm missing out on, but I want to spend some time with the family because I'm out of town the following week, the whole week for FD in Long Beach. So I hope you enjoyed this. I need you guys to start letting me know, like, tell me down below what you liked. If you have any questions, please tell me. I want to know. I want to help this be a more fun thing for you guys and still be very educational and hopefully take some of the scary away from some of the fabrication. So let me know, like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys soon. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, not only some traveling, but we are going to be jumping back on my Lexus. We've already done a few things. I'm stoked. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.